Hey friends, we're going to learn how to use a button and a speaker with an Arduino. Oh yeah, so we're going to get some buttons going, get a custom tune going. So here's the starter code. This is linked in the description. So in the starter code, when I push the button that's connected to pin 10, the speaker on pin 11 plays a little note. So setting pin 11 as the output, pin 11 is connected to the positive pin of the speaker, and then the speaker is connected to ground as well. And then pin 10 is set as an input. That's coming from the button. Okay, when you push the button, the LED switch is on, showing that we've got 5 volts on that LED, and we've got 5 volts or a high going into pin 10. Okay, so then if pin 10 is high, then we're gonna play a tone on pin 11. We're gonna delay for half a second, and then we do no tone, so that stops the tone from playing. The number 200 is for a frequency of 200 hertz. Okay, if digital read 9 isn't high, so else nothing's gonna happen. What we're gonna do is we're gonna copy that if else statement, copy it below, and then we're gonna use it to add. We're actually gonna add another button and add a different action. So I'm using digital read 9, so I'm going to put another button on pin 9, and then you'll notice I on the tone command I set the frequency to 600, so we should have a higher tone. Then I'm copying the button, putting another button in, putting another LED in, copying the resistor, and then I'm going to connect this button into pin number 9. Okay, and let's just change the color of the LED for this one. Okay. Now, the reason these LEDs are here is to check that the button is working, that the code isn't doing anything to the LEDs. They're just turning on because when we push the button, we connect the top pin of the button to the bottom pin. And so then we get a current flowing through the LED, and we actually get a voltage of 5 volts on that LED pin, which is going to go into the Arduino on pin 10, pin 9. All right, here's the optional fancy part. If you want to make a custom tune, here we're going to make a custom tune. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy the if-else statement again. We're going to add another button onto pin number 8. Okay, and then in this if-else statement for the button on pin number 8, we're going to add some code to play a custom tune. So I'm going to go to my good friend ChatGPT, and then we're going to put a prompt into ChatGPT to help us with our code. So I want to remember, okay, so I've got my speaker on pin 11, my button is on pin 8, so I'm telling it that, okay, the button's on pin 8, the speaker's on pin 11. Give me simple code to play the first, let's do 7 notes of Mary Had a Little Lamb when the button is pressed. So it generates this code for us, okay? This code, if I just pasted this into if I replace my Arduino code with that, it would work as it is, okay? I'm going to make it a little bit simpler. I'm taking out a thing called an array, and then also it has the button it's set to, it's the wrong setting. So I'm changing the setting for the button slightly. Now this code looks good. So I'm copying the code just from inside my if else statement for my button. And then I'm just putting in this code underneath the if digital read pin 8 is high. Notice here I've got tone speaker pin. Speaker pin is being used to store the number, all right, the number 11 for the speaker pin. So I could go down and change all of those speaker pins to 11. That'll take a minute. What I can do instead is I can use the variable like they do in the code in ChatGPT. So I just define this variable, this integer speaker pin, and I say that that is equal to 11. So I do that up above the setup part of my code. Okay, so the very top of my code. So I have this integer speaker pin, constant integer speaker pin, which is 11, and then that is gonna what that's going to do is everywhere it says speaker pin, it'll just replace that with 11. And then what I also need to do in the setup is I need to remember I've got 10, 9, and 8 are all inputs because I have buttons on those. So now if I run this, that works. It works. Oh yeah, there we go. It works. Nice. Okay, now we're going to build it on the breadboard. So the plus on the speaker goes up at the top, connects to pin 11, and then the negative side on the bottom connects to the ground rail breadboard. So the speaker's beeping because I have some code on the Arduino already. I think it's my light show. So instead of an LED flashing, the speaker's beeping. So I'm going to clear my code by uploading this blank file from the editor. The legs on the button look like legs on a bug. So if you orient it as if it's walking up or down your breadboard, and then the legs, if they're poked into the holes correctly, when you connect up your LED and your resistor and you connect the button to the positive power rail, when you push it, it should light the LED. That's the way of checking the button's connected correctly. And then we connect all of our inputs to the Arduino, check the buttons work again, they work great. And so now we're going to upload our code. So we copy it from Tinkercad, we paste it into the cloud editor, Control V, paste. All right, and then we're just going to check that our Arduino is connected. So click on there where it says Arduino Uno, make sure I've got the one selected with the little code in parentheses, connect, make sure it says Arduino Uno, and then I click on the right arrow to upload my code. Make sure that's uploaded correctly. It is. It's completed. So now let's go over to the circuit and we'll give it a try. That works. Beeps for about half a second. That's good. That one works too. Nice. Now you give it a try, friends.